Hello everyone. Today I was working on my little project, my personal project, and now, so just to make a little recap, I already worked on this project on a few videos before, but how it works today, so I have just a home page, a contact page, issue, but this did a rework like from scratch. Then the user page where you have the details, you can edit any user. Like this, for example, you can log the login for him and you can change if he's admin or not. So for this does not change anything, but later I will make it that if the guy is admin, then he will have access automatically to all routes. So this group will be useless. So then we have the system setting where we can change these groups as you could see just before, and inside you can edit it. And I'm using this color picker component that I found on internet. I don't remember the producer, the one who created the code, but it's quite cool because everything is working like straight away, with the two-way data printing. It's like really cool. So if I go back, it shouldn't save. Yep. So we can add new ones and this kind of stuff. And then we have also this, which is now automatic. All the routes here come automatically from the server. I cannot add anymore, as you could see probably in a previous video. So you cannot add routes anymore. They come straight away from the API. Like the API creates its own route every time I run it. And this is this initdb. So here what does it do is that I send him the router object from the server here. Should be at the end. Here I have this initdb controller. I want to create the route, and here I pass the router. The router is like all these things where you can see all the routes. And here what does it do is that when you run it, I do a for each of all these routes, and I have each route like one by one, and I create just an object where I have here all the routes with the name of the route, and here the method. Like for example, this object here is that, for example, on the route with nothing alone, I will just have a get. This is a method allowed on this route. So it's like this. Like for example, this route, which has nothing, just a slash, it has only a get object, get method true. So then for each one of them, I am checking if I have something already in the database. Then I check if it exists or not. If it exists, then I check if the route already has a get, a post, and a delete, and blah blah blah. And at the end, when I have it, I just update the route if it exists, and I create the route if it doesn't, with this save here. And at the end, I have a little message, which I think the message is not working right now. But anyway. So it's working now. Every time I run the server, it checks these routes, all of them, and I just need them to check what I want for the user's rights or not. And recently I just added also MD2 Bootstrap to the project to have the drop down. And for example, I just finished to add this drop down in the menu, where now I just have the project and choice 2. It's just for testing. So I'll show you quickly also how I managed to make it work with this Bootstrap, because I feel like it's not clear at all. When you go on the website from Valor Software and into Bootstrap, you have these complicated things here. It shows you some markup, blah blah blah, and to me it doesn't make so much sense actually. Like, I did not get it right away. So actually what you have to do is that, for example, if you want this accordion, collapse, or whatever, I will show you for the drop down because I'm sure I made it work. So you have to import this line in your application module. So here in app.module, so here you can see that I import this drop down module from Bootstrap, and don't forget to import it here also. And once you have it, you basically just need this. You take these 4 lines for the drop down, you put it in your HTML, so it's like, okay, this should be a div in the HTML that they give you, but it works with anything. Then you have this you need actually this drop down toggle, drop down menu, and that's it. Then you can add as many classes as you want, and you can change also the tag. Here it's in the navbar, and with the Bootstrap, to have the right design, you need to have it as a tag. So that's why here it has this a tag. And at the end, it looks like this, and it's working quite well. Okay, so this was a quick recap on the project, where it is now. Also, we have this logout, login. We can also sign up if we want, but it's not necessary today. So okay, login, you change the menu, everything is perfect. Yeah, when I log out I still have this upsetting because I didn't put the right there, but let's do it right now. So I just need to put this ngif and ngif admin. Okay, and now if I put this, when I log out, I don't have it anymore. Perfect. So now I just created this menu drop down for the project, because this is something I would like to have only for the administrator, to add the new project to the list. And I already made the routes in the API, so I will show you right away how it works. So you can kill this. So in our model we have project. So what is a project? A project will just have a name, which is required, a description, a picture, but it's not necessary right now. I think I will not put it, but I will anyway put an input for that. Then created by, and the user involved as an array, because the point at the end is to have like one project and to have then a team working on this project. So this user involved will be actually the team. And then the created at, which is not modified, like it is only modified with the pre-save. So every time I will no, sorry, yeah, this is the pre-save. So it means that the first time I will save this project, if it doesn't have the created at, which is by default it doesn't have it when you create it, then I will say that it's current date. But the next time I will update it, for example, this is also a pre-save. This code will still be triggered, but because it already exists, then it's not a problem. It will not overwrite it because it already exists. Then the created by, now I will not do it. I want to use the user ID for that, but I will not do it right now because it's a little bit more complicated and I don't want to make too much at the same moment. So now I will just write like created by the system, and that's it. So this is the model for our project, and now we have also the controller for the project. So as you can see here, when we post a project for the first time, when we want to create it, we need to have at least the body name. If we don't have it, then we will have an error, or like just a return status 400, which the message name field cannot be empty. And let's put the uppercase here. So then for the project I will create, so this is a new project. I will put the name, which is the name in the body, description, same in the body, picture created by, now I will put it in the body also. This is just to make it easy for me right now, but it will change later. Like the API will check himself who is the creator, not the. This is not the front end that will tell you who created it, but the backend will do it for you. Then the user involved, this can be also created with the front end. Then we just save. If we have a problem, then this is a problem from the server. Otherwise, we have a success true with the message new project has been added, and the date of the project we just added with the status 201. Then, as always, we can get all the projects with a simple project.find. Get project by one, so with the find by ID, and we need the params project ID. Update project. So here you can see that we cannot update all fields. We can update only the name, description, pictures, and user involved. We cannot update the created by, and I don't remember what else. And then the created at, but this we never update. Okay, so we save again. So now we understand the thing, and we can also delete the project with the method find by ID and remove. So we have more or less everything. We need also to check maybe the server to see which routes I'm using. So I just created them here. So I have the router root slash projects. So this is just to post and to get. And then also the project by project ID, the get, put and delete. So I just have, you can see here, two middlewares before. So the first one is just to check the authentication. So just need to check if I am sending a token with it or not. If I'm not sending a token and the right token, then the function will stop here and cannot access to the data. I cannot post or get or update or delete. Then I have also this post rights, which is a middleware I created myself to check if this user is in a group that has the right to access this route. So it's a little bit complicated, I will show you right now. And then we get we have our middleware work, the last function working to actually post or get a project. So this post rights, what does it do? So let's check it quickly. I think it is here. This is just a controller. And what does it do? It takes the token, it decodes it, and once it's decoded, it checks the where is it now? It checked the group, I think. I don't remember now. Checked the group, and then it checked also all the route we have in the database. And if you can access it, then you go to the next stage, otherwise you don't. So basically it's just in, as I showed you just before, in this group rights. For example, for this project by ID, I just need here, because I am admin by default, I just need to check all of this, and that's it. So I have project here, project there, so it's fine. This let's put everything so far for admin. Okay, so I think it's quite a big presentation of the project, how it is right now. So now let's jump to the front end and create little components for the project. The first things we need to do is to go in the component folder and create a new folder called projects. Then inside we create a file, projects.component.ts. Okay, so now ng2 component. This comes from the extension Angular 2 TypeScript snippet by John Papa. So it's just like some snippet to help you make components and these kind of things like faster. So selector app project. So this we will not use much, I think, but just in case we need it. So feature projects component.html, and here same project. Okay, so we need to create this file as well in the same folder. Let's just create it. This is projects. Okay, this we can save, and now we need to import it in the module app module ts. So here I just need to add a line, and here I want projects component like this. Perfect, and we should not forget to declare it here. I put it a little bit up before the settings components, and perfect. I'll copy this line also because I will use it in the app.routing. So just here, nope, here, and here I will create a new root for it. Under issues, I will create a root project and using this component. So now I can save. I think everything is saved. Okay, perfect. So now if I go here in projects, I have this is project, but now we want to have it when we click here, because now nothing happened, as you can see. So this we have to do in the navbar like this, and we will just add these two things in the A here, and here the root link will be projects. Oops. Okay, I save, and now let's try again. Ta-da! Here we are. So we have it. It's kind of cool. So now the point of it is to display here in the list all of the projects we have in our database. But so far we don't have any of them. Like the database of projects is totally empty. So we'll just use Postman first to create a new one, just to try. Then we will make it with the front end. It will be faster, but still. So here we can go here, projects. I want to post in the body, name description. Okay, so name it's like projects 1, let's say. Description is this is the description of my project. Then we need the picture, which will be none so far. Then what else do we have? We have on the API, in the model project, we have description picture created by and user involved. So created by, I will not put anything, I want to see it created by the system, and user involved we don't need to put right now. Okay, so it should be enough. Let's send it. And now I have this problem of no token provided, and this is what I was saying before. In the server we have this middleware before here, sorry, in the root post, so I need to have this this token. So now the token in the front end is stored in the session storage. So I will just take this, and here in the header I will have x-access token, then just copy this and then send. And now you can see that my project has been successfully added. So everything is working. It's nice. So now we have a project in our database, but as you can see, when I go there, I still don't have my project, and this is what I want. So we'll start now by creating a service here, and we'll call let's say project service. So new file project.service.ts. Okay. So here, to go a little bit faster, I will just maybe not this one, but this one I will just copy. No, not this one either. This one is too complicated. Contact, this one should be easy. Yeah, this one is the easiest one. Okay. So I'll take the contact service. I will just copy paste. So I'll take it. Where is my service now? Project service. Okay, so I copy. I can remove all of these functions here. We will recreate them together. And this also, no need. Okay, so this is what I need. So injectable, inject HTTP headers, and this map operator that you can add from nodeJS. So the contact service will be renamed in project service. So header, any token will take the token from the session storage. And then in our constructor we will inject API, which is for me just a configurator, like a config file. I use this inject API. You can check in the modules. Yes. Here at the end I have this in the providers. I have this provide API, and I use the class API config. And now it's really handy because I can use this inject API with private API, and then I already have everything I want there. And then we have the private HTTP, as always, to make it in HTTP request. And then in the constructor I already create the headers. So first is the content type application JSON, then this access control allow origin with everything. This is just in case. I think I don't really need it, but just in case I put it because I have always troubles with that. And then the most important thing is our token, like the x-access token. We just saw with Postman that if I don't put it here, the x-access token, then actually I cannot even go on this route. So that's why it's needed. Okay, so now we will create the first things, which will the first method, which will be get projects. So in this get projects, what we want to do is to get the projects. So we need to make a HTTP request. So this HTTP dot, and then we need to get, and then we need to have our API route, and for that this is where I use this config API, where here you can see that I use the main route, which is now localhost for 4200 API, and then all my routes there. And this is for only one purpose, is that the day I'll go live, the only thing I need to do is to change this line here with the address of the API, and everything is still working, because I will not have to go through all services and so on to get to change it everywhere. So that's why I'm using this. So now we will create our project URL like this, and we said it's in projects and here projects. Okay, and let's create also right away the project URL, which should just be project and the slash. This is to add the project ID at the end with just a plus. So we have it. So we need now to make a get on this project URL. So get this API project URL, and that's it. And then we need to add the headers, which is these headers we just created before. And then at the end we just map the projects to projects.json, and this is basically all we need to do for this function. So we pass the token in the header, we could get the things, the project with the right URL from our config file, and then we map the project to the object project.json. So now to get to use this function, we will need to import this project service in our project component. So let's do it. So here in the project component, I will import this project service from, and let's try to not make any mistake. So it comes from services slash where is it, the project dot service. Okay, so I have a little problem here. Okay, so like this. When it's not underlined anymore, then it means that it's fine. And this we need to provide. Providers up. Okay. Oops, this we don't need. Okay, and now in the constructor we need to declare it. So private project service is that. So now we'll have to make a new variable which will be project, for example, and this will be any, and this will be an array, because from the API we will get back an array of projects. And that's it. So now we'll create a new function here, which is also called getProjects. And here, what does it do? It just uses this project service. And here you see when I write the dot, I already have access to the method I just created before. This is one really powerful thing from Visual Studio Code that I really like. The method you created in somewhere else, you can get them right away with the autocomplete. So get project, and here what we have to do, we don't have to pass anything to this function, and what we'll do is to subscribe, and we'll get back projects, and then we'll say that these projects are equal to projects, the one we just got from our service. And we can also console log the projects just to see what we have there. So basically this function will just replace this variable we called projects before. It will just replace it with the object we got from the project service, and this is exactly what we want to do. So now I also have this ng on init. It means that every time I will load this component, I will load also, I will run the functions that are inside. And here this is what we want. We want to load at first all the projects. So I just need to on init to use the function, the method we just created, get projects. And that's pretty much it. Now once we have this is more in the front end, like the HTML that we need to change. So let's make it simple right now. We'll just create a list of all our project. So here we need ng2 4, and here we'll have ng4 let project of projects, and inside here we can display, for example, the project.name. And now when I check it, I have it. And if I add a new project, for example in the body, project number 2, the description of my project number 2, send, I have it, and the next time I go there, I have my 2 projects. We can see in the console also that we have our 2 objects, which are our 2 projects. So here if we want to, for example, we can make this strong, like this, and then we write a span with text muted. Here we can write the project dot description. Okay, like this. It doesn't want to make it better. Let's do it manually. Okay, so like this. Now if I check again, description. What is wrong with that? It's not the right one. Object 1 of 2 created by. Okay, so it seems like I made a mistake somewhere, because here I did not see in the data, I don't create a description. So let's check quickly the API. Project description. This is the right thing. And in the controller, when I create one, here is the mistake. You can see this is description, and this is wrong. So I need to replace this, and maybe here I made a mistake in the date. So okay, just need to save that, and idea number 3, project number 3 at the end, number 3, send, and now I have my description. So perfect. If I again reload this, okay, up, I have it. So this is how you create API model and controller. So this was already created, so you did not see it with me, but you can make some pause on the video and check all the code. It's like really easy. The model is the same, really easy. So this is the API part with the server also to create the root here. Do this. In the next video we'll check how to get this project with the project ID. So this is for the backend, so really easy. And then for the front end we saw how to create a new component first, which is something really easy to do. We created the service also, our project service, to go get data from our API, which is http.get. We mapped the project and blah blah blah. So we created our service. We saw also how to use then the service to get our project from our API and database, and then to put it in our front-end HTML. So this is quite complete video that show you more or less everything how it works, and you can see that it is like really fast. I think maybe like something like 30 or 35 minutes to do it. I don't exactly know how long we were like working on this, but you can see that it's quite quick. And so we covered to me, which is like the big things, like from this base. Once you like master these things, then you can do almost everything with Angular and your API. So that's it for this video, and see you later.